Hello and welcome everyone. Very happy that we're all together again. In this tutorial we will continue talking about the different components of the water firefighting system. So fasten your belt and let's get started. The aim of this tutorial is to discuss the second component of the water firefighting system, which is the zone control station, and we will analyze its different components and the usage of each of them. So let's go ahead. If you remember, we discussed before the different components of the water firefighting system, which are the water tank, the fire pump, the zone control station, the sprinklers, and the fire hose cabinets. And now the second component we need to focus on is the zone control station. As we said before, the zone control station is set on each floor on the riser pipe or the cross main pipe to control the flow of the water to this flow sprinklers. So we can open any zone control valve to allow the water to flow inside a specific floor, or we can close the zone control valve of this specific floor to prevent the water flow from this floor. For example, if we need to prevent the water flow from the second floor, we will close the control valve of the second floor zone control station while keeping the water running to the rest of the floors. And the first usage of this zone control station is to isolate a specific zone from the rest of the water system, and this is for the maintenance purposes. If we need to maintain this specific zone on the second floor, for example, we close its zone control station so the water will be trapped on the main pipe, or the water will not flow inside the zone pipes, hence we can maintain the pipes. Also, we may need to wash the pipes to clean them from the stagnant water. So for all of those purposes, we close the zone control station to isolate the zone or the floor pipes from the rest of the water system. Also, the second usage of the zone control station is to send an alarm signal in case of the control valve of the zone is closed. And this is because if the zone valve is closed at the normal case, the water cannot flow inside the zone. But this is a problem, as in case of there is a fire, the water cannot reach the sprinklers or the fire hose cabinets. So the fire system will be at risk, hence the zone control station gives an alarm signal to indicate that this control valve is isolated or it should be open. And the next property of the zone control station is to check or measure the water flow inside a specific zone, as each zone control station is having a measuring device to check the flow rate of the water inside this zone to know if the water flow and the pressure are in the accepted ranges or not, as we will learn later. Also, this zone control station is installed at the nearest position from the main riser pipe, as it's a branch that is branched from the main riser pipe, so it's installed at the nearest position from this main riser pipe. And this position should be an accessible one, or it should be an easy position for the persons to reach and access it. And this is for the firemen to be easy for them to reach it in case of they need to control the flow of the water to any zone, so it's installed at a clear location. And for this purpose, in case of using a suspended ceiling, or in case of the zone control station is installed above the suspended ceiling, at this case, the zone control station should be installed above an access door of the suspended ceiling like this one here. So if we need to check the zone control station, we open the door easily to inspect the control valves and to check them. Very good. Now, after knowing the idea behind the zone control station, we need to know what are the different components of this system. Here we find the first component that represents the zone control station is the OS&Y gate valve, and this valve is used as the main valve in the station that controls the water flow to the zone from the main riser pipe. So of its name, it's a gate valve that is used as the gate of the zone to allow the water to enter the zone branched pipe by closing this valve to allow the water to enter this zone branched pipe by closing this valve, or to prevent the water from entering this branch by opening this gate valve. And this is to isolate the zone from the rest of the firefighting system in case of the maintenance or cleaning the pipes, as we said before. And here is the shape of the OS&Y gate valve, and it's called OS&Y as it's the abbreviation of the outside stem and yoke. And those words outside the stem means that the threaded rod of the valve is the moving part while opening or closing the valve, but the wheel of this valve is just rotating, so it doesn't move up or down, but it's fixed on its vertical position, and just the threaded rod, or it's called the stem, is the moving part which moves up and down while operating the valve. As you see, when the valve is totally open, the water can flow through the pipe with no problem, and at the same time, the stem is totally up. On the other hand, when the valve is totally closed, the water is prevented from running through the pipe, as the stem position changed now to be totally down. But at the two cases, the wheel position is a fixed one, as it's not changed, as you see. Also, the important note about this OS&Y gate valve is that it's an essential element in the zone control station, so it cannot be removed totally from the station like some other elements in the station, as some other elements in the station cannot be used, but this gate valve or its similar elements must be used as the main element in the station. And here is the full design of the zone control station. As you see, this is the main riser pipe, which is going up from the ground floor to all of the other floors in the building. And this riser pipe is feeding all of the zone control stations at all of the floors. So this is one zone control station with all of its controlling and measuring tools. And here is the drain pipe, which is used to drain the water in case if we need to clear the pipes or in case if we need to maintain them. Also, this is the test branch, which is used to test the fire zone, as what we will learn later. And here is the zone branched pipe, which is used to supply the zone sprinklers and the fire hose cabinets with the required water. And in this case, we find this valve to be the zone control valve. So you can see it's the first element installed at the cross main pipe, as it's the gate of the zone. More than great. So that's about this tutorial, at which we started talking about the different components of the zone control station. How that's clear right now. Thank you for watching, and see you in next tutorials.